Derrida is a French philosopher, but he's very well known in academic world here in America. The last, let's say, 15 years of his life, he has been a lot here. He was a speaker on many conferences. You know, now we invite Cornel West. The man is going everywhere. Derrida is also a big giant who went everywhere, and so especially after he got retired, that he has his free time. And after he retired, the man also made what they call his political and ethical turn. He has always been an activist as a scholar, but since the 90s he focused his talks more on politics, on ethics, and on social justice, because they always accused him of not being enough in the field. You know him as a philosopher, he can make high speculations, and then his colleagues from the social science are saying, but you are too much in the speculations, calm down, alright? So after he got retired, he got time for it, and he reflected himself, how can I translate my thinkings and thoughts to the field? So the main issue of Derrida that I want to share with you today has to do with what I call from him his undecidability politics. What is that? Politics, I will not try to explain it. I think everybody has an idea about what is politics. What is the undecidability element in it? To make it very simple, that means you cannot decide about things. You stay undecisive. And that is a very important element. He says if we want to get closer to what he calls a democracy to come. He said the democracy, the model for the future will be to be able to stay in that state of being indecisive. To understand this, himself he goes to the spiritual level. And he talks from spirituality to try to explain what it is and why you need it. I will come a little bit closer to Taha, because Derrida is compared to Sufism. So the indecisive element, let me try to explain it in a spiritual way that is close to maybe to Taha. The thing is that in religion you should not impose your beliefs. That is an element of it. In your spiritual practice, we talk about prayer. Why the prayer often? During the whole night. That's meditation. Why? Why that silence? Because you want to interiorize the other. You meet so many others during the day that maybe you pass away just like that. At night, when everything is calm, when your active life is finished, you can go to the passivity of spirituality and you can sit down and look at yourself. That's also the indecisive element, because you question your own beliefs, maybe the beliefs you want, or maybe also to impose on the other. We need to learn from the other. That is all in our spiritual and prayer life. In fact, to be progressive, if you want to go through it fully, or what Taha is saying, you come closer to our divine nature, is that you make one step back, and that you know that there are many progressivities. That's very important. It has implications for morality, for justice. Taha is saying, what is justice? Justice is a discrecy of using our individual absolute right for free will. It's discrecy. What else is discrecy? Is then to make that step backward and to be in that indecisive field. We need to recognize that we are in whatever we think as an activist, as a scientist. We need also to respect that another can be inside his own thinkings. So it's in that way that I want to look a little bit on northern Nigeria. But in the other way, Derrida would not be a great big philosopher if he would also not
stress also the outside element. He says, look, social activists who has been criticizing religion, I mean the radical, the fundamentalist side of religion, those social movements, they have been very important because they are able also to look at the things from the outside. So we must combine both. We must respect the inside of ourselves, the inside of the others, but also go to the outside. Okay, what is the outside in northern Nigeria? First, the situation of northern Nigeria, to make it short. In 2000, they reintroduced Sharia as a legal code. You must know, Nigeria, northern Nigeria has always known Sharia. I think Sudan the same. And when you hear Taha talking, he talks about Sharia like it is the cultural Sharia, the belief of Islam of the people. But